Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be a summary of 2 Kings chapter 13, verses 1 through 26. Now, Joash reigned in Israel for 17 years, and he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. And he followed the sins of his fathers, and he made Israel to sin. Now the anger of the Lord was kindled, and he allowed Israel to be delivered into the hands of Hazael, the king of Syria. Now Joash had saw the oppression of Israel, and he began to pray to the Lord. And the Lord did hear his prayer and did give them a savior. They were delivered out of the hands of the Syrians, and they lived in tents. There was 50 horsemen, 10 chariots, and 10,000 foot soldiers. The rest of them was destroyed by Syria. Now the rest of the acts of Joash and all that he did are written down in the Chronicles of the King of Israel. And when he died, his son did take his place. Joash, king of Judah, who reigned for 37 years, and the king of Israel, also called Joash, had reigned for 16 years. Now he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and he did not depart from the sins of his fathers. And the rest of the acts of Joash and all that he did are written down in the Chronicles of the King of Israel. Now, when Joash had died, his son Jeroboam did take his place to reign on the throne. Now, Joash, the king of Israel, had came down, and he wept over him and said, "The horsemen thereof." Elijah said to him, "Take a bow and take an arrow." And so the king did take the bow and the arrow. And then Elijah had told him to open up the window to the eastward. And so the king opened up the window. Elijah said, "Shoot the arrow." And the king did shoot it. And Elijah had said, "The arrow of the Lord of deliverance. The Lord will deliver you from Syria, and you will consume them." Elijah had told the king, "Take the arrow in your hand," and the king did that. And Elijah said, "Smite the ground." And the king smite the ground several times. And Elisha had become angry and said, "Why did you smite it 5 or 6 different times? You would have consumed Syria, but now you will only consume them 3 times. Elijah had died, and he was buried. And then there was a band of Moabites that had invaded the land the next year. And it came to pass, as they were burying a man, that these spies had came and cast the men down into the scepter where Elijah was at. And when they had lowered the men down and they touched the bones of Elijah, he became revived and stood on his feet. Now Hazael, the king of Syria, had oppressed Israel all the days of King Joash. And the Lord was gracious, and he had compassion on Israel because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he would not destroy them. Now King Hazael died, and his sons did reign in his place. And there was 3 times that Joash did beat and recover the city of Israel out of the hands of Syria. May God be with you in everything and every way.